Welcome to What You Don't Know You Don't Know, the podcast that dives headfirst into the surprising, the overlooked, and the misunderstood. Hosted by a curious duo and one man, one woman, we explore the world's most fascinating ideas hiding in plain sight. From science and religion to politics, psychology, history, and everything in between, we shine a light on the knowledge that's publicly available but rarely discussed. Each episode is a deep but never dull conversation that challenges assumptions, sparks new perspectives, and reveals just how much more there is to know, especially about the things you didn't even know you were missing. Whether you're a skeptic, a seeker, or just someone who loves good conversation, this show will leave you thinking, questioning, and most importantly, knowing.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling some really potent stuff, excerpts from Draquin Kuzmiak's The Machinery of Outrage, How Power Feeds on Chaos. Powerful analysis, quite provocative. You sent this to us, and it really cuts through, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is arguing this constant, fury we see isn't just random chaos.
Yeah.
Kuzmiak calls it a deliberate choreography, engineered.
Exactly. And I think the key thing Kuzmiak wants us to grasp right off the bat is this tension, this difference between being reactive and being reflective. I mean, if you're constantly jumping from one headline, one scandal to the next, well, you're basically doing what the system wants. You're kept reactive. And he nails it with that quote. You highlighted it in the source material. A society in constant motion is a society too distracted to resist. So our job here really is to map out how that motion gets started and then crucially, how it translates into control for you, the listener, to see.
Okay, let's get into that mechanism then.
Yeah.
What's the actual day-to-day beat of this machinery of outrage?
Yeah.
How does it keep us moving? Kuzmiak lays it out as almost like clockwork, predictable. Every few days, bang, a new outrage. Could be a headline, a scandal, some viral clip.
Yeah.
And it's not just any content. He says it's calibrated for maximum emotional voltage.
Yeah.
It's got to spark instant anger or fear or that feeling of moral superiority.
That calibration, that's everything. It's wired right into our negativity bias, And the genius, if you can call it that, of the system is speed. Before you can even really process the last thing, dig into the truth or the nuance, bam, the next crisis hits, the next clip. It's just churn, churn, churn.
So it's really just about preventing that pause, stopping any kind of collective reflection. Okay, but who's pulling the strings here? Who are these modern priests of attention he talks about?
Well, that's your politicians, your big-name pundits, influencers.
Yeah.
The usual suspects, maybe. But their job, crucially, isn't really to inform, it's to perform certainty for an audience starved for clarity. That's his phrase. In this messy, ambiguous world, they sell quick, easy, emotional conviction.
But hang on, isn't that just politics? I mean, people always want strong leaders, right? People claiming they have the answers. Is he saying this is somehow different, more design?
He definitely is. He makes a sharp distinction. It's not information exchange. He calls it instrumentation. That word is key.
Instrumentation.
Yeah. Think of it like this. Information tells you the temperature. Instrumentation, it makes you feel hot, makes you sweat, and then tells you exactly where to run for shade. It's about directing action.
Okay.
They're selling conviction almost like a drug. Because the whole point is to push your emotions a certain way until the outrage itself basically becomes obedience. If they can control what you're angry about, they divert you from maybe asking deeper questions.
And that means truth kind of gets sidelined, right? We have to touch on that observation he makes, the really startling one. The louder the lie, the more believable it becomes. Shouting drowns out facts.
Absolutely. When the whole game is about emotional impact, whoever performs certainty most convincingly, maybe, by being the most extreme, the most divisive, they win the attention. Doesn't matter if it's true. And that just, it eats away at any shared sense of reality.
Right. Okay. This is where it takes a darker turn, maybe even feels a bit cynical. Kuzmiak argues that when a major crisis hits war, pandemic, economic collapse, the people in charge don't just see a problem. They see an opportunity. They don't fight the fire. They steer it.
It sounds dark, yeah, but he argues it's a historical pattern. In those moments of real fear itself becomes a kind of renewable resource, as he puts it. Chaos isn't just chaos. It's a chance to push things through that normally wouldn't fly.
And what kind of things? He's specific about this, isn't he? During a big crisis, this is when emergency powers expand.
Yep. Emergency powers expand, surveillance grows teeth, freedoms get traded away temporarily, of course, for safety. It's that classic trade-off. Give up some liberty, get some reassurance.
So connecting the dots, the big consequence, politically, economically, is this upward shift. While everyone's scared and focused on the crisis, power and money consolidate at the top.
That's the core argument. While citizens trade freedom for feeling safe, the architects, as he calls them, are busy consolidating. Wealth, government contracts, authority. Kuzmiak's line is blunt. Every disaster transfers something upward: power, money, or both.
Okay, let's name names, or at least types. Who are the winners in this upward transfer, beyond just the powerful?
Well, you've got incumbents, naturally, the big players orbiting them, finance certain industries. Governments start ruling by exception, setting precedents that, somehow stick around after the emergency is over. And corporations, especially big ones, can get fattened by crisis. Think no-bid contracts, massive bailouts. They solidify their position while smaller folks go under.
And the media machine, the algorithms, they're part of this too. The same ones driving the daily outrage.
Oh, absolutely. They're crucial. They trade in attention, right? And in a crisis, they learn to weaponize division even more effectively.
Turning every rumor, every protest, every awful thing into, what does he call it, monetizable content.
Exactly. The more conflict, the more clicks, the more engagement, the more ad revenue, it feeds itself.
So you end up with this hierarchy that's not based on competence or reason, but on who's best at generating and managing emotional reactions. It's like a pyramid scheme, fueled by outrage, benefiting the few, leaving everyone else just exhausted.
Exhausted and dependent, yeah.
So what does this actually mean for the average person, for you listening? Kuzmiak talks about the slow ruin of ordinary lives hidden beneath all the noise. It's not abstract. Small businesses closing, debt loads getting heavier, savings just vanishing. He argues this economic pressure creates obedience, a quiet coercion stronger than law.
That's such a vital point. How does that work exactly? The debt, the precarity leading to compliance. Well, think about it. If your survival, your job, your healthcare, maybe your home feels constantly at risk, then dissent becomes a luxury only the powerful can afford. You might believe something strongly, but can you afford to speak out, to protest, to question things when you might lose everything?
It creates this chilling effect.
It really does. Fear fuels control. Control deepens the precarity, the fear of losing what you have, which makes you comply even more. It's a nasty loop, self-reinforcing.
And the thing that lets this whole cycle just keep going endlessly, he points to memory. Or rather, the lack of it.
Collective memory, yeah. That's the crucial casualty. Think about the elders, the people who saw similar things before. Their warnings, their stories, the context they could provide. It gets lost to screens and silence, overwhelmed by the now.
It's more than just forgetting history lessons, isn't it? It's like the sheer speed of the outrage cycle actively wipes the slate clean. If there's a new worst thing ever every 2 weeks, you never connect today's crisis to the same pattern from 5 years ago.
Exactly. That's the political usefulness of a short public memory. If you forget the context, every manipulation feels new. Every abuse seems unprecedented, maybe even forgivable because, well, this time is different. And that leads to that really chilling conclusion he draws. A people who forget their past are easy to convince that tyranny is progress. If you erase the baseline, you can sell almost anything as an improvement. Memory is resistance, fundamentally. Lose that, and the machine runs unchecked.
Okay, this is a pretty devastating picture he paints. But there is a little bit of hope, right? Some sense of agency.
Yeah.
Where does Kuzmiak see the potential to push back if this machinery is so embedded in everything? He calls the antidote slow thinking in a fast world.
Which sounds simple, but it's really a call for deliberate reversal, like consciously stepping back, reflection, talking to people directly, not just through platforms, real human connection. Outside the algorithms.
Right. So resistance isn't necessarily about, loud revolt or just finding a different outrage to latch onto. It's quieter. It's about collectively refusing to play the game. Power starts to seep away, he suggests, when people relearn how to gather, question, and remember together. Actually talk, figure things out, recall past patterns. Real change, the text argues, doesn't kick off with shouting or violence. It starts when enough people decide to refuse to be entertained into obedience. Just switching off that reactive mode.
Yeah.
Moving from being a consumer of outrage to, active citizen again. That's supposedly the weak spot. Okay, so we've walked through the deliberate choreography of chaos, how crisis allows power and wealth to flow upwards, the way economic fear enforces obedience, and how forgetting the past lets it all happen again and again.
And we have to end on that stark warning, pulled from history, according to Kuzmiak. This kind of manipulation, unchecked, it tends to end badly. The powerful eventually overplay their hand, but often the rest discover their strength too late.
So this deep dive really lays bare how the machinery Kuzmiak describes wasn't built to inform you. It was built, essentially, to rule you. Which leaves us, and you, with a final thought to chew on. If the cure is refusing to dance to the rhythm, as Kuzmiak suggests, how long can we stay hypnotized by the outrage before we lose the ability to stop moving altogether? How soon do we need to wake up?
And that's a wrap on this episode of What You Don't Know, You Don't Know. If your brain feels a little fuller or like it just stumbled onto something way more interesting than expected, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss next week's deep dive into, well, something you didn't even know you didn't know.